Hello, my friend. I said I promise you I will be right back. So I am back. Back for what? Back for the heat, to catch the heat. So we are in the heat talking about the government shutdown. My whole point is that they can debate going back and forth over issues like for 10 months or 10 years if they choose to, but not over issue that has been passed into laws and that has been implemented, and the implementation started already in several states.
Yes.
And it is an issue, even though it has flaws, we can later on fix it. You don't want to hold the word fix to go against the government normal administration, normal
Yes.
running, right?
Normal running.
Yeah. Today I have my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, an author slash a senior CPA, to talk about it. And we tend to be on more of the focusing of the common sense side.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're common sense people.
We are.
At the point of our last segment, we were talking about philosophy comes out of common sense. Philosophy, common sense is the foundation your philosophy is built upon.
Yeah. It's
Right.
common sense is a pure attribute. It's a pure attribute. You don't have to learn it. You have it, you know.
Yeah,
or you don't.
yeah. Sure. Yeah. And at this time of the year, of course, we know our fiscal year starts that day,
Yes.
and that's not something preventable.
Yes.
And for that day, we could have voted a different result. That is preventable.
Not retroactively though.
I get that.
Yes.
Okay, now, that brings our past to the past. What happened has happened. We just, with the shutdown, a good luck. To her, that is as little as possible,
Yes.
please. Let's pray for that. Well, just say, please go ahead, do the shutdown for as little days as possible to hurt us, poor Americans, including Jack Chow, as little as possible,
Yes.
including my friend Ken and my producer, Nikki, please. So we're too weak to be punished. We're too many, we're well married to be punished. Okay, anyway,
Yeah.
so those are the joking, right? The jokes. To be not joking, we are talking about the fact that we have to come back to face the debt ceiling.
Yes.
It's a subject, it's a conversation that we have to engage ourselves in. I mean, two parties, the left and the right, sooner or later, unpreventable. And worse still, the date is already fixed, October the 17th.
Yes.
So at the CPA, with a background that reached for almost your life, so what's your opinion about our chance to get the debt ceiling lifted?
Well, I think you want to start out by talking, should it be lifted?
Sure.
It will need to be lifted to, people are saying that we're not going to be able, we won't pay our bills and we're going to be downgraded. That will not happen. The bills will be paid. Our leadership at whatever level is not going to let Armageddon hit us.
All right.
But every time there's a debt ceiling limit lifted, that means there's more government spending. And we can't just keep growing. The biggest growth business in the country is government. That is not righteous for us common individuals.
Say it again. Government,
It's
in
big-
which
yeah.
the biggest development
growth industry. Yeah.
is the size of its own government.
Right.
All right.
And
All
so
right.
that's just like, feeding yourself.
All right.
And so at some point, as individuals, we all do budgeting to try to live within our means. And we have, as a country, we have lost that. And people say, well, we can keep printing money. Well, if you look back at the history of South America, they kept printing money and inflation of ridiculous magnitudes happened. So
Printing money is a child game.
Yes, it is.
It
is monopoly.
You're just pacifying yourself.
Right.
Right.
So
okay.
we will pay our bills. Something will come about it. There will be an increase in the debt ceiling because it's unavoidable right now. And it's unavoidable, but sometime it needs to be avoided. But it will take a change in culture from government growth into appropriate sized government.
Yeah. If correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Am I right if I say this, the following? We are an economy. We're a nation with an economy that's fast developing, which is number one, right? And number two, to match with the size of the economy, a government has to spend money.
It has to spend money in proper proportion.
No. Let me go one by one.
Yes, sir.
And in order to be matchable to the size of the economy, you have to match your size. You have to do it in a measurable, in a controllable way, in the acceptable kind of scale,
Yes.
and including your sizes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You're talking about big government again,
Yes.
right now. So for that, we understand is our goal in the future. Number one, to stretch our economy to cover as big as possible, to shrink our government to a point as little as possible, but functional.
Yes.
Right? But
Right.
functional.
Functional.
And this is our long time goal. Can we get agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the present time, we need money to pay our debt,
Yes.
to keep our face as a face,
Right.
not a butt,
And our credit rating.
right? Not a butt.
Yeah.
And then to keep growing while we correct ourselves, right?
Yes.
For that, we need to reach the debt ceiling. Am I right?
We will.
on this
We
one?
will need to. But
yeah.
the ultimate success of our country will not be dependent on raising debt ceilings. It will be dependent on free enterprise
Yeah, I
businesses
understand.
and mostly small business.
Logic is one thing, practical is the other.
Yes, sir.
So once again, we're talking about the P word.
Yes.
Right? So the L word is one thing. We know what I said before, the two was the logic.
Yes.
Right? The practical thing is that we are facing a brick wall right now.
Yes.
So should we go forward? Should we just back up? There's no way, obviously, backing up. There's ocean over there. We cannot back up. We have to keep going. And then we need to raise the debt ceiling. Once the debt ceiling is raised, well, okay, we come back to think about logic. We have to shrink ourselves, down and down. By and by, we shrink ourselves. Am I right? Is the third logic?
My understanding is they want $1 trillion increase in the debt ceiling, and my position would be only that which we're committed to spend, that we need to spend to meet our obligations, and don't have a big round number of $1 trillion. Calculate something.
So what is the right now number? 16.7?
Yeah, 16, almost 17.
6.7 or 8 something,
Yeah,
right?
trillion.
Trillion,
Yeah.
with a T, I know that.
We can't even conceive of a trillion.
Yeah, 16.7 or 8 trillion dollars.
Yeah.
You're saying that they're asking about an increase
Another trillion.
of another trillion. That's 18, no, that's 17 T, 17 trillion dollars, right? So do you think October 17th we will get they will get the $1 trillion increase?
I do.
You think so?
I don't want it all, but yes, I do. I do, because that's where the power lies right now.
I see. Do you think the party on the party on the right would say, "Hey, you promised you'll cut down your government size 10% or something. I'll give you the extra $1 trillion." Could that be a good deal?
It is a necessary evil with the current circumstances.
And then the evil starts taking place, and then another debate going on.
Right. At some point, there's got to be a stonewall. There's got to be a wall.
You're talking about second round.
Right.
Second round of boxing.
But now, and this isn't being critical at all. As long as we as American people elect people that want to spend and grow the government, perhaps to precipitous levels, then it's going to happen. And our attitude, which is fiscal responsibility, I know we share that, will be just overrun and overwhelmed. And then they call that's life.
All right. You know what, Ken? To stretch a little bit, let me be romantic a little bit. All right. I'm too tired of seeing too much of practicality. So let's be romantic for a little bit. In sports, there is those gym shows.
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right? The gymnastic shows, right? And then the referees sit there, give scores.
Yes, sir.
Full, 9.9, 9.9, right? Nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets embarrassed. You show your show,
Right.
and at the end of which you bow, and there's big hands, right? That's it.
Yes.
And then in tennis,
Yes.
the purpose is that to hit my ball to your yard,
Yes.
and you the same. The two of them kind of trying to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
Do you think our politics is more like a tennis ball rather than a gymnastic show for our audience to give these scores?
Yeah, right now I think our government function is more like a boxing match. It's brutal. They're being brutal to each other. And
Not really boxing. Well, boxing, yeah, maybe,
Yeah, I don't know, you know,
maybe,
boom,
maybe,
boom,
maybe,
that's-
maybe
you
they
know.
do the boom boom
Yeah.
all the time. But right now they're thinking about not problem the ball in your yard.
yeah, that's it's
Right?
each
So your
other's-
ballpark can before it kicks back to me.
Yeah, well, actually, like thinking about tennis, which I played last night and had a beautiful time.
okay.
It's kind of like a blame game, and the tennis ball is the blame, and
Yeah.
they're throwing it
Yeah,
back
blame
and forth.
game.
I
Yeah,
think that's
blame
exactly
game.
what
Yeah,
it's going
tennis
on.
ball, yeah.
Just like ping pong.
Yeah, it's like
Great
ping
Chinese
pong, like
sport,
ping
you
pong,
know? Yeah.
table tennis, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yes.
instead of a gymnastic show for the audience, which is American people, to give you a hand,
Yes,
to give
and
you
applaud,
scores, whatever, everybody enjoy.
Well, in
right?
a way,
the
it's-
beauty of doing this or that.
Right. In a way, right now, it's more like the Roman Empire, when the audience would either go thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, like that.
That's
like
sort
that.
of
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's
like
like
that,
now.
yeah. Like in the arena, right?
Yes.
Kill.
Right.
Like
It-
that kind.
It's a little
Oh
bit
my God.
uncivilized, and
Oh my God! Back to my audience is, time has evolved into a period that we have cell phones. I can talk to my sister back in China anytime I want, right? And yet we're still fighting in the old arena with the thumbs pointing down, say kill, or at least for the best a ping pong game or a tennis game, kicking balls to the opposite side to the elbow park. That's the purpose. So
and hopefully in the long run, those that are able to stay calm, serene, and patient,
Well,
and logical will, in the long run, prevail.
okay.
we hope.
Why don't you next time write a book saying that the political gymnastics show?
I will.
Okay, let's do that. All right, let's keep our fingers crossed for that. I'll see you next time.